Okay, so for the next series in our Mia collection of our recipe releases that we're doing, I'm just going to show you the full palette of the next one that we're doing. So we have a light grayish slate blue. We have this beautiful deep purple, a black, and this yellow that's sort of like a gold, more of a mustardy side, definitely not an orangey yellow. So we're going to do kind of a fun take on each of those for this collection. I'm going to start with the black. And when we start with this, we are going to do 15 mils of our base. And the majority of the color that we add into this particular recipe is going to be, the majority of it is going to be our liquid concentrates. So the other thing, what I was just doing here was removing this little ring just so that it doesn't fall on our polish when we are pouring it. So because I know I'm going to need a lot of this to get me even a relatively reasonable opacity using our black, I'm going to go ahead and start with 20 drops of our black. Okay, give this a stir. And you want to make sure that you are documenting your recipe. And I'm going to add a surprising twist to this deep dark black. I'm actually going to use a half a scoop of 0188. It's going to give us a coppery tint to this kind of classic black. I like to do that sometimes with my dark colors. It's not always so apparent that there's a tint to it, but in the right light you can see it kind of come through, and I really like that. So I'm just going to open 0188 here. And I'm going to do, again, just a half a scoop. I also like the consistency that a half scoop gives me. And this is going to change it. It's going to be slightly, just like a little bit brown, which is fine, because it's still going to be really, really, really dark with our black base here. And so I started with our black. I can always add more. I could do 20 more drops of that black. And I want to have that space to add additional color. Look at that. And I want to have that space to add the additional color so that I can change the opacity of it. If I really wanted to just see the copper and I didn't care about the opacity or how many coats I needed, I might choose to stop here. I'm going to keep going. And I just did 10 more drops of the black, so for a total of 30. Just a little bit darker. I'm going to continue with using my, with 10 more drops, I'm going to continue using my black. And this is just a build upon process. If you're not as comfortable about using your liquid concentrates yet, you can just add them much more slowly than I'm doing here. It's just your comfort level. But remember, you just want to stay within your maximums. You don't necessarily want to go over, between 40 and 50 drops of liquid concentrate. If you're not adding pigments, you can obviously add more. We only added a half a scoop here. And I'm really happy with the darkness of that color. So indoors, that's probably going to look very, very close to black. When I'm out in the sunlight with 2 coats, you are definitely going to see the coppery tint in there. I'm going to do 1 really small drop of the white just to see, and you can kind of play with your own colors as well. The white will lighten it, and it's also going to change the opacity. Our white liquid concentrate is the most opaque liquid concentrate that we have. I like that a lot. Okay, so I'm at 40 the black and 1 of the white. And I'm gonna add 2 more black. So you can see that's a really dark brownish black with that copper in there. You can see the swirls of black and the swirls of copper. Okay, so I am ready to bottle this. Fill your funnel 3/4 of the way up with your polish. Let it drip down into the bottle, and then you want to do that one more time. And then your bottle is going to be about 3/4 of the way full. And that's just a good rule of thumb, so that you're not continuously pouring. Continuously pouring your polish into there, you run the risk of overflowing it, and you don't want to do that. You want to get it mostly full and then take it little by little, just adding a little bit into the funnel to make sure that you just get up here to the shoulder, not to the neck of the bottle. So sometimes the best way to do that is just to get down to eye level with your polish. It's a little bit, I'm getting pretty close, so I'm going to fill the funnel maybe halfway up. And again, you just want it to go to the neck. I have just a little bit more space. Okay, and that's perfect. Sometimes you have, leftover. If your measurements weren't exact, or if you've added a lot of ingredients, you could go over the maximum capacity of the bottle. It happens. And that is our fun take on a black. Stay tuned for our next recipe.